Good morning. Today we are going to continue on with our next unit, and we are going to look at adding polynomials in lesson 1. But before we do that, we're going to talk about two different ways that we will name or classify polynomials. The first one is based on the number of terms. So if we have 1, 2, or 3 terms, we have a special name for that. And then 4 or more, we simply call a polynomial. Okay, so I want you to think if you had 3 wheels on a bike, we call that a tricycle. If you have two wheels, we call it a bicycle. And then one is mono. They usually say unicycle, but mono. And then we just add nomial to the end. For our name. Okay, so 2 is bi, like a bicycle. 3 is tri, like a tricycle. 1 is mono. Any more than that would be poly. We can also use the biggest exponent on the variables. So we are going to learn special names. Just forgot 3. Learn special names for everything up to 5. And anything 5 or higher, we call, for example, the 5th degree polynomial. 1 we've talked about a lot. It's linear. 2 you're going to hear a lot. That's quadratic. 3 is cubic. 4 is quartic. And then if we don't have any variables and we just have a number, like 3, we call that a constant. Okay, now this isn't actually part of your assessment as far as, what we're going to test you on, but it is going to help you if we start talking about a quadratic trinomial that you know what that is. Okay, it is, however, very important that you start listing or writing things in standard form. It's going to make it easier for you in future lessons. So we are going to list them in order of exponents, starting with the largest first, and then in decreasing order. And then you're always going to take the sign that is in front of the term when we're writing it in standard form. Okay, so we are going to actually, in the next set of problems, write these in standard form first, and then we'll name them. Okay, so for B, for example, there's only one term. We don't need to change it. For A, my bigger exponent is 4, so I need to move that term to be first in my list, and then the negative 2x squared to be second. For C, x squared is going to go first. That's my biggest exponent. Then technically this is a 1 there. And then our constant, the one without the variable, goes last. For D, biggest exponent is 4, so I'm going to put 2x to the 4th first. Then 3 comes after that if we're decreasing. And then I don't have a squared, so I'm going to go just a 5x to the 1st power, and then 9. Okay, E, same thing. Biggest exponent is to the 3rd power, so negative 6x to the 3rd power. X squared comes next, so 3x squared. And then we have a 2x, and then we have a minus 5. And then if there's 2 variables, to decide what order to write it in, you add the exponents together. So 2 plus 2 for this first term is 4, and 5 plus 2 for the second term is 7. So since 7 is bigger than 4, we're going to put that 5x to the 5th y squared first, and then x squared y squared second, and then a plus 4. Okay, so that's how you write those in standard form. Biggest exponent goes first, and then we decrease as we go. Now, we need to name these based on the degree. So the biggest exponent is 4. So if you look at that table, that's quartic. For B, the biggest exponent is 3, so that's cubic. And then the next one, the biggest exponent is 2, so that's quadratic. Okay, and then the next one, biggest exponent is 4 again, so it's quartic. For E, the biggest exponent is 3, so cubic. And then this one, because we did 5 plus 2 to get 7, we're going to call that the 7th degree. We don't have a special name for that one. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and name it with the number of terms. So 2 terms, okay, if I just split it right here by my addition subtraction sign, notice I have 2 terms there. So two terms is a binomial. This one only has 1 term, we call that monomial. Then we have 1, 2, 3 terms, so that's a trinomial. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4 is how I'm counting it. So it's a polynomial. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 terms is a polynomial. And then the last one, 1, 2, 3 terms is a trinomial. Okay, so again, we want you to know those names. It's not actually even in the practice, other than writing your answer in standard form, but be familiar with those. Now what we're actually going to do is add polynomials, and your first step is to find your like terms, and we are going to combine them then by by adding our coefficients, or the number in front, and keeping the same exponent. So I'm going to start with my biggest exponent in this first one, and notice I have a negative 8 to the third and a positive 3a to the third. Sorry, negative 8a to the third. So negative 8 plus 3 is going to give me negative 5. I do not change my exponents when I'm adding and subtracting. Okay, next we're going to look at the next largest exponent. I have a squared for both of those terms. And 2 plus 6 gives me 8, and then a squared stays the same. And then for my last terms, you'll notice here that I have an a, so negative 7a and positive 6a give me negative 1a. You can put the 1 there, but I don't usually write it. Okay, so there's your final answer. Let's go ahead and do the next one. The biggest exponent here is x to the 4th, but there's only 1 term with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just write that down, negative 5x to the 4th. And then we're going to move our way down our list, and we're going to look at x to the 3rd next. So I have 7x to the 3rd and 4x to the 3rd here. So 7 plus 4 is 11, and our x to the 3rd stays the same. I don't have any x squared, so I'm not going to worry about that, but I do have some x's. So this is really a negative 4x plus a 1x. So negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. And then I'm just going to bring down that minus 1. I'm going to have you go ahead and hit pause right now. And in your packet, there's 2 more problems to do. When you're ready to check your answers for these 2 problems, go ahead and hit play again and check your work. Okay, so when we combine our like terms here, we should have 11b squared minus 3b minus 4. When we combine our like terms here, we should have 6b, let's try that there, 6b to the 3rd, and 8b squared, and 12. Okay. In your packet, there are 4 practice problems. Do those. If you need help, let us know. And then once you're finished, you're going to go ahead and move on to the lesson 2 video. Have a great day.